All right, guys. So we finally have a ban list. Ban and restricted card announcement as of today, January 14th, 2022. Um, it's really cool also to see that Bandai here, when I was reading through, was giving descriptions of why, the reason for banning or limiting things, because most card games just don't give that reasoning. So it's really cool that they understand that they have insight into their own card game, even though, like, R&D department is normally supposed to fix these things, yada yada. Like, it's the fans that figure it out, and the players that figure out these absolutely insane combos to make these cards what they are and why they deserve to be hit. So let's go ahead and jump in here. Effective February 25th. So this is just in time for the BT7 meta. So it seems like when there's a huge meta change that they've found, they're going to hit it from, they're going to basically keep an eye on Japan's meta, and then not let America enjoy that meta, which honestly, I guess you could say there's not really enjoyment when cards like this existed. So the first card, it is going to be the first banned card ever for Digimon TCG. It is the only banned card as of current. And they even give a reason here. BT7 112 Susanomon is a level 7 Digimon that can digivolve from a tamer, allowing you to use this card to digivolve for free without the need for a level 6 Digimon, speeding up the metagame and restricting viable decks in that format. As such, we've decided to ban this card. Many games end in the early or mid game simply by using this card to digivolve into a finisher, so we believe simply restricting this card will not be enough to fix the issue. For this reason, we're choosing the ban instead of restricting it. Yes, guys, that is why. If you guys have at all kept an eye on the Japanese metagame, it's kind of dumb. Blue and yellow are absolutely running the metagame into the ground in Japan. And I don't mean into the ground as in like it's a bad metagame. What I mean is, like, those are the most prevalent decks in that format because they're just absolutely insane. Because basically all you do is you're playing a ton of tamers, especially with Tommy. Tommy with this card was ridiculous. And then you were playing Pokemon, like you were putting Susanomon on the table turn 2, swinging for 3, and then Susanomon, if you even had anything in the discard, he was shuffling it all back in. Like the card is insane. Like everything was going the way of Susanomon, which is kind of cool to see that Susanomon's made such an impact on the metagame in Japan. But at the same time, like, what is it doing? And yellow, with how many tamers, like I was saying with blue, you basically played a ton of level 3s, ton of level 4s, no level 5s whatsoever, no level 6s whatsoever, and then you played 4 copies of Mega Digimon Fusion, 3 to 4 Susanomon. That was it. And the level 4s you played were all hybrid based, to where they evoed and like shut your opponent's Digimon down. You were also playing 3 to 4 Ice Wall. The card was absolutely insane, and like I'm glad to see that they understand the metagame for themselves. To see that this card, like, don't hit Tommy. Tommy is a problem in of itself, but like he's needed for hybrid. He just is needed. Hit this card, Tommy becomes powerful, but not broken powerful. It's one of those. And then we get to the restricted cards, again, limited to 1, effective February 25th. We have Reinforcing Memory Boost. This card does everything you want it to. So you don't reveal more than 3 cards, but you're placing one of them on the top of your security and then adding the other card to your hand. And then the next turn, you're gaining 3 memory. And then even if it's in security, you're just putting it into your battle area and you're gaining 3 next turn. This card is proven considerably more powerful than the other memory boost cards and exceeded our power level estimations when used in specialized decks such as non-yellow multicolor control decks and D-Reaper. So it really makes me happy to see that not only are they looking at like BT7 for the formats coming up for us in America, they're also looking at what's going on in Japan for BT8 and EX2, where these D-Reaper decks are insanely powerful. We believe this card is too generally powerful to be left unchecked and have decided to restrict it to 1. The card is not insanely broken to where they want to limit, where they want to ban it, but it's one of those that, like, it's still a good card. They want to leave it in the game because it can help yellow decks, it can help other decks like D-Reaper, but they don't want to break the just immediately ban the card. Now we get to Ice Wall. In my opinion, this card could have been banned, but I understand why they put it at 1 instead of just outright banning it. Though performing as intended as a defensive card, using it every turn results in a lock situation that negatively impacts the speed of games. Like I said earlier with the blue decks, people were playing 3 and 4 of this, so you were just sitting on them and every single turn using this. It was basically the better version of the white tamer that when your opponent attacks at level 3, this just was blanket for the game. The resulting unenjoyable play patterns outweigh the benefit of the card's effect, so we've decided to restrict the copy to 1. Again, think of this card as a cold wave from Yu-Gi-Oh, where you just shut down spells and traps immediately. But this was shutting down any attacking to losing 2 memory, where, like, if you passed your opponent with 1 or 2 memory, they're not doing much at all, and it just blanketed their game state to where they evolved once and then they ended their turn, or they attacked once and ended their turn. It really, like, doing that every single turn to your opponent really made players not very happy in Japan. And again, I could personally see this being banned, but I understand why they wanted to leave it at 1 because it is a control card, and it can help blue decks out, since blue decks sometimes could use the help, to be honest with you. And now that they've banned MDF, this card being at 1, like, it's definitely going to help them out more. And then the last couple of limited cards starting April 22nd, which will be the time of the BT8 pre-release. They're limiting Savior Hukmon to 1 because Jessmon gets absolutely nutty with the Sistermon evolutions, and it's insane. The card is absolutely insane. Watching the metagame in Japan, Savior Hukmon is so stinking good. And then decks that use the card with BT6 Jessmon have dominated the metagame for longer than anticipated, greatly limiting viable red decks in red. For this reason, we've decided to restrict this card to 1 copy per deck. So what they're trying to do is they're trying to open their metagame up and see people playing more red than just Jessmon, which I can absolutely appreciate as a red hybrid player myself, which I wasn't going to play Jessmon anyway. I was still going to be playing red hybrid going forward at BT7, but I do understand where they're coming from to try to limit this card and open their metagame. And then the last card is going to be Eisen. Yes, this card absolutely is insane. Going into any purple deck, like every purple deck in Japan going into BT8, BT7 and BT8 is going to be playing like 3 and 3 Eisen Scatter Mode. This card is insane. Using BT7 072 Eisen and BT7 069 Eisen Scatter Mode, so which we will get to play 3 and 4 of these for what, 2.5, 3 months? February, March, April. Yeah, so about 2 months. For one full format, for a box format, which is not bad. So people will get to enjoy Eisen and play Savior Hukmon for a little bit. But Eisen definitely needed limited. You can definitely still loop this thing. You can still reuse and abuse this card like nobody's business. But basically, this card, this and Eisen Scatter Mode replace Kinkakumon, Genkakumon, and then I think it's Genkakumon Promote, if I can remember right. Using them in tandem makes it easier than anticipated to cycle through your deck while playing Digimon to your battle area for free. Therefore, we've decided to restrict this card to 1 copy per deck. You only had to have 1 Scatter Mode in your trash, and if you like ditched 2 or 3 of these off of like 2 of these off of your Lady Devimon, you were bringing both of them back. And then for each Scatter Mode in your trash, this card gets plus 2,000. I mean, the card Eisen alone is such an insane card that yes, I truly believe this card getting limited to 1 is great. But again, there's so many ways to bring this back and reuse and abuse this card. But leaving it at 3 and 4 is not good for the metagame, at least from what I've watched in Japan, especially going into BT8 when Mostemon and Jogress fusion happen. This card in Mostemon is one of the most disgusting things I've seen and gotten to watch gameplay of. So that's actually the effective ban list. So this is banned, and these two are limited starting February 25th, and then we will see April 2022. As soon as the pre-release for BT8 is launched, these two are going to hit their limit as well. So don't forget to hit that sub button, guys. Let me know what you guys think down below. Don't forget to hit that like button. I will catch you guys later.